without delay. You came and you paid, surveyed the property you made. Put in an offer you didn't have to say. Higher than me for real. It's feeling like God in here. Bitch got that grace appeal. They stick with a note and what else am I supposed to feel? Won't you come in, put your feet up, how you waiting here? Let me back up while you do you, I won't interfere. Check my feng shui, I can rearrange, that's a chandelier. Get a show ready where you set it
Lord,
up,
I ain't
it's a
too grand to take it with. The prayer talking gotta make them feel. I'm something special, I ain't just a vessel. I found your word was my way to heal. Now I'm outside trying to spread the message. The devil dripping, he been causing wreckage. My testimony went from declining to the upper end, finally gave me leverage. What I felt was a stretch, it led to agility. You were the balance, I needed stability. All the allure, spirit so pure, but Father, the Son, like the holiest Trinity. Open arms, I receive the blessings. In every lesson, hope to see progression. The more you lead me to community, the more I see a need for intercession. Gotta pray for.
I'll be your temple, I'll be your sanctuary. You can come dwell here. Won't you come and fill me? Jesus, have your way.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome back to the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. It is yours truly, Jasmine D. Milhouse, and I am excited to have you back here with me on another Thursday night on our live show. And again, welcome back. It is what is today? Thursday, January the 16th. And I am excited to be here with you all on this evening. Right? Make sure you like, tag, and share this on your pages, share this in your groups. Because tonight we're going to be talking about a topic that has, that is very it is very real. It is I can't say it's rarely talked about because we pretty much talking about a whole lot of stuff out here. But tonight we're going to be talking about walking out rejection. And so what kind of got me on this topic, y'all know I like to just dive right on in. Because it's beginning of the year, we set our goals, we say, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that, we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. Sometimes we can set out to pursue another career, we can set out to pursue, dating, all kinds of stuff. And for me personally, I'm looking, to embark upon elevating my career. And so you putting in application after application after application after application, and then you get rejected after rejection after rejection after rejection after rejection. And it got me to thinking about, the significance of rejection, because sometimes we can look at it as being a bad thing, right? We can look at it as, okay, well, why is it that God is not allowing me to get the things that I'm praying for? Why is it that God is not allowing me to get what I wrote down in my journal? Why is he not allowing me to get this career that I'm looking for, to pursue these personal goals, to, get that relationship that I've been praying for? Why is it that I'm always being rejected, so many times? And we look at it as a deviant or a negative, thing. But sometimes we don't take a look at the positive side of a rejection. So tonight we're going to be talking about 3 ways you can walk out of rejection. And I might slide a little, scripture reference in there here and there. It might be a little drop or two. But the first thing that I want to talk about is, I want you to see what I had to realize. I had to realize and look at rejection as a way of being redirected, right? And what I mean by that is rejection is, in the end, is not just the final door closing, is not the end all be all. It is a way of redirecting you on the path that you're supposed to be on. Because, we can look at life and be like, I don't know why, God is taking me down this road. I don't know what is going on here. If my life doesn't have any purpose, is my life not worth anything? I don't get this process. I'm frustrated. I got anxiety. It can lead to depression. It can lead to so many things. But what we don't realize is it also leads to being redirected. Because if you look at it, You're on a pursuit to do something that you want to do. So you have to ask yourself, did I consult with God or whoever you believe in? I consult with the Lord Jesus Christ. Did you consult with him before you started on this path? Did you go to him? Yeah, you wrote it in your journal, but did you also pray for guidance on these things? Did you pray for his will to be done? So it's kind of like, is this aligned in the purpose that is meant for your life? Are you in alignment? Or are you out of alignment? It can be, rejection can be built on resilience, and it also strengthens your character, because when we get so weakened when we are rejected, we get so weakened when we are turned down, when we are looked at like we're nothing, or we sick, because sometimes you could be picked as, oh well, Rashina didn't want to go in, and not to call somebody's name, but I can call her because she my sister. I can do that, but not to say, it can be like, oh well, Rashina didn't get selected, so let's call Jasmine, and I'm second best. That can sometimes also make you feel like you're being rejected, right? Because it's like, I'm not the first choice, so it puts you in a moment of, why wasn't I? Why was it? Why do you feel like you had to settle for me? Why was I second choice? But you got to also understand that sometimes when a door closes on you, when you're not granted something that your heart may be yearning for, that you may have prayed for, that you may have even fasted for, I'm gonna turn down my plate, or I'm gonna do a new thing this year. Sometimes when you doing all of that, you doing it for the wrong reasons. You know what I mean? Because you're doing it for your own gain. You're not doing it to stay on the path that you're supposed to be on. So it can be a way of protecting you and preparing you for what he actually has for you. You don't know what he has for you until he has to hurt your feelings a little bit. Sometimes he has to humble you to be like, okay, I get what you're saying. I hear what you're asking for, but that's not what I want for you. So you have to learn, you have to understand that, when it doesn't go the way that you want it to go, don't look at it as, okay, that's just, like I said, the end all be all. Don't look at it as that's the door closing. Don't look at it as that's the end of the world, because it's not. It is the beginning of something different. It's the beginning of where you're supposed to go. So what I want you to do is, I want you to take a moment in those times where you're feeling like, I just can't deal with this. Reflect on the areas of rejections. Reflect on where a rejection may have led you to a blessing. Go back to think about, or I may not have gotten this, but I was able to get this. And I want you to write down the one area where a rejection may have been a redirection in disguise. And what I mean by that is, you may not have known it in the beginning. You may not have knew it was rejection leading you to something different. But then at a later revelation, you were able to say, that's why you blocked me out of that. That's why, I was ghosted from so and so. That's why they never called me back. That's why I was never asked for an interview. That's why I was never given, this amount or that account or whatever the case may be, because you knew what I did not know. He sees what you cannot see. And so, and if everybody knows the scripture reference, I told you I might sprinkle a little bit in here. Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans that I have for you, plans for you to prosper and not to harm you. And that's a paraphrase. Don't shoot me because I ain't no Bible scholar. I know what I need to know. But you get what I'm saying, right? You understand what I mean. God knows exactly what he wants you to do. He knows where you're supposed to go. And unfortunately, sometimes for your feelings and for your ego, rejection is going to be a part of that, because we can seek out on our own path. We can seek out on our own journey for some that he don't even want us to have no way, right? And that's just my point number one. Look at rejection as just simply being redirected. Y'all ain't gonna hold y'all long. I promise you I'm not. I'm gonna be in here in about 30 minutes and then I'm gonna be out of here, right? Number two, guard your heart and staying rooted in love. What that means is finding emotional resilience in the disappointment of rejection, right? Understand that rejection does not determine what your worth is. Rejection does not determine you as a person. It does not determine your capabilities. It does not determine, that this is going to be where you are for a while. That it don't determine any of that. It just simply means just what it is. You were just not granted access to what you pursued. So now you have to pursue something different. Understand? Don't allow your heart to be broken, internalizing the rejection, right? Yes, of course, sit in the moment. Absolutely sit in that moment. Don't feel like you just, okay, I got rejected at 9 o'clock and then 9:01. All right, I'm over it. Everyone does not operate like that. So if it takes you a little bit longer, to sit in that for 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 30 minutes, take that time, but also make sure you extend yourself grace, extend yourself compassion, affirm your internal value, affirm your purpose, and again, avoid internalizing this rejection because it's just situational and it's not personal. Sometimes we take rejection personal. Now, depending on the situation, yeah, okay, it can be, because you look at it like, just say a relationship, right? If you're pursuing a person, just say you're a guy and you like a girl and you go up to this girl and hey, I don't know what they say nowadays, I've been single for a minute, so I don't know. Mind your business. But if a dude approaches you and say, hey, I've been watching you for a while, or I've been checking you out, I would like to get to know you, take you out on a date, or whatever the case may be, and she shuts you down cold blooded. Some people, and that can be with either a female or a dude, you know what I mean? Vice versa. Some people will literally take that personal, right? And they will allow that rejection to deflate their security within themselves. It will allow them to second guess their value. It will allow them to second guess their self worth. So I want you in those moments of rejection, don't allow the rejection to make you look at you any different than what you are right now. Don't allow being turned down or being saying, no, that ain't what I want right now. Don't allow that to be like, okay, that's just it. That's just my life. Because no, it's not. That just means that ain't the person that's supposed to be for you, no way. That just means that's God protection, from saying, okay, that ain't who I, no, that ain't who I want you to be, because that's going to be ratchet baby mama drama, baby daddy drama, or whatever the case may be. That was his hand of protection on you. So look at it as, take a moment and say, okay, again, what I like to do, I'm a journalist. I like to write. I got a book somewhere with some notes on it. I got two books, somewhere. I carry an ink pen, I carry paper with me because I like to write down. Because when you are in those moments where you're feeling like, okay, where things are not going the way that I want them to go, sometimes you have to write positive things to yourself. You have to encourage yourself. And if you have to write it down so you can see it, you have to do that. So you don't dwell on the moments of feeling so disappointed that you just give up on the pursuit of the joy that you have inside of you. You don't want to give up the pursuit of getting what is your destiny. You don't want to give that up, because that's ultimately giving up on who God called you to be. That's ultimately giving up on your purpose. It's giving up on your life. It's giving up on your kids, your dreams, your goals, and your aspirations. And in this good old 2025 year, we don't have time for that. So what we have to take a look at it as, okay, I fell off the horse. Let me get back up again. Let me get back on it and go ride out and go find something else, because this is not for me. So what you have to do is continue to give yourself positive feedback, even if it's constructive criticism. Give yourself constructive feedback. I don't want to say criticism. Give yourself constructive feedback. or get someone else to go through the scenario with you, someone that you trust, someone that you can depend on, someone that you know is going to be honest with you, that's going to give you, listen, no, you did that wrong. No, that wasn't the way that was supposed to go. Maybe next time you should try it this way. Did you think about doing it this way? Maybe next time do it like this. Okay, cool. And then what you can do, you can take those nuggets, you can take those things, and you can revamp what you just did and start over again. Okay. So don't just sit there and be like, okay, well, no, we ain't doing that. We're not doing that. You have to continue to keep moving. You have to continue to pursue. You have to continue to move forward. And you have to continue to understand that you are not the only person that is out here facing rejection. We are facing rejection every single day, left and right. Okay. And understand, my next point is understanding that trust that the rejection works for your good, even though it is painful. Okay. Even though that it is painful, rejection works for your good. And we all know Romans 8 and 28. We all know that all things work together for the good of those that love God and who are called according to his purpose, right? So you have to look at it as, even though, and that is something that my dad had to kind of instill or push back into the forefront of my mind. I call my dad sometimes, for, a listening ear, or I call my mom, and, just to kind of talk things out with a person. You know what I mean? Yeah, I talk to God, I pray, but sometimes I want to be like, okay, I need somebody that's going to talk to me right then. And there's nothing wrong with that, y'all. Okay. Please understand, it is nothing wrong with talking to someone as long as you're talking to the right person. And even if that person that you're talking to is not your family member, it ain't your mom, it ain't your dad, it ain't your sister and your brother, but it's me, oh Lord, standing in need of prayer. If that's what you got to do, do what you got to do. But for me personally, I call, I call on my mom, but more so my dad. I need your advice on this situation. Can you help me? Or this is what's going on. And he's had to get me back to understanding that all things work together for the good of those who are called according to God's purpose, right? So that means whatever the situation may look like, no matter how destitute it is, no matter how bad it is, no matter how many no's you get, no matter how many, applications get turned down, how many doors get closed, how you're not, you qualify for this level, or you're underqualified for that, you're overqualified for that, because we've heard it all. No matter how many times you hear it, know and understand that it is working for your good. Nothing happens without a purpose. Nothing happens without a plan. There is a plan behind every single thing, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. So we have to understand how to look at those moments of rejection to be grateful in those times. God, I thank you for the door that you just protected me from. I thank you from that opportunity that was not meant for me. I thank you for not allowing me to walk down that path. I thank you for not allowing me to get into that relationship. I thank you for not allowing me to converse with this person and then something being spilled out, or I'm in a dramatic he say she say debacle. I thank you for your protection of me not taking the right when I was supposed to go left. I thank you for allowing me not to do XYZ, whatever you have to tell yourself. Do what you have to do to understand that rejection is just working for you. That's all what that is, right? And write down and reflect on a moment where you can recall being rejected. What lesson did you learn about yourself in that rejection? How can you guard your heart and remain rooted in God's love during that rejection? Because sometimes rejection make you mad. Why you ain't choose me? Why you feel like this person was better than, or whatever the case may be. Sometimes you have to ask yourself those questions. Sometimes you got to look at it from another perspective. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have to say, okay, well, how can I not look at this person in a different way, because sometimes the people that reject you are the people that you talk to on a consistent basis. Sometimes they are your mom and your dad. Sometimes they are your brother and your sister, your cousins, your auntie, your uncle, the ones that you think are supposed to just give, and do. And then you're going to come into that no one day. How can you continue to understand that it is for my good that this person said no? Because you got to learn no at a real young age, but you also got to learn how to say no. Because not only do you have to learn how to be rejected and be okay with it, sometimes you're going to have to learn how to be the rejector, right? And I hope that's a word. If it ain't, don't sue me, don't judge me, okay? But you're going to have to learn how to do the rejecting, right? You're going to have to learn how to be the person that says, no, I can't do that. No, I won't accept that. No, this is not for me. No, thank you for the opportunity. No, thank you for this interview, but this job is not for me. You're going to have to learn how to also be the person that's rejected. Because you're not just going to be getting rejected. You're not just going to be receiving the no's. Sometimes you got to be okay with giving a no, and you have to be comfortable with that, because sometimes someone may be offering you something that's not aligned with your purpose and it's not aligned with your will. And you have to be confident enough in yourself to know this is not where I'm supposed to be going. If I take this route, I'm going to be hopping 10 steps back. So instead of you putting yourself in a situation where you know you're not going to move forward, why would you do something like that? So you're going to have to get real comfortable, and you're going to have to understand who you are as a person, as a man, and as a woman, and know what you want and know what you're looking for. And sometimes you just got to say, well, no, this is not for me. But I thank you, though. Thank you for asking. Thank you for the opportunity. Thank you for being persistent in pursuing me. But I'm gonna have to decline. Now, you're going to have to be okay with that, but also they're going to have to be okay with that. But know that if they're not okay with that, that's no longer your problem. That's no longer your problem. I had a conversation last night. I'm not going to say with who because she going to see this, but I had a conversation with a very important person in my life, and I had to let her know that in this journey, in life, there are going to be some people that are close to you that are not going to care what your goals are. They're not going to care what your dreams and your aspirations are. And they're going to be looking for you to do stuff that is just not aligned with that. And sometimes you're going to have to give them a rejection notice. You're going to have to give them a no. You're going to have to let them know that I'm not doing that. You're going to have to let them know that that's not aligned with what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm pursuing something different. I'm moving in a direction that may not be where you want to go, and that's okay. I don't love you no less. I still love you equally. I love you even more, but I'm not going to do what you're asking me to do. And you're going to have to, again, you're going to have to be okay with that, right? And it's okay for you to be the person that is rejecting someone. Again, that comes with knowing who you are, that comes with faith and favor, right? Because you have to know that and believe that rejection can be a divine setup for something greater. Right? It can be a great opportunity for you to explore different challenges, different areas that you may not have even thought about if you had taken what you were being offered, or if you were granted with what you were looking for. You will miss the things that God has intended for you. And sometimes you got to know that there are some moments where he will allow you to walk down that road, where he will allow you to open that door, where he will allow you to take the path that you're seeking, so that you will understand that he knows what's best for you. And when you down to the bottom, dusted, busted, and disgusted, and you looking up at him like, why you ain't tell me? And he gonna be standing right there with his arms waiting wide on you, like, is we ready now? Can we do what I just wanted you to do? So know that, again, rejection is not bad. It's not a horrible thing. It is a divine setup for you walking in the path that God has for you. I have so many conversations, y'all, knowing that where I am right now in my life is not ideal to me. It may be ideal to some people. There is someone right now that will fight for where I am. I can't say the other word because I'm live on this good live stream. There is someone that will fight for where I am right now. And I was sitting here thinking I would fight to be where someone else is. And I had to understand that I was going about getting where I wanted to go the wrong way. That I started getting rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter. I apply for this. I will look for this. I will go here. I will do that. I would look for that. I will go here. And no after no after no after no after no after no, to the point to where I cried. I looked at me like, what are you doing wrong? What is wrong with you? I would look at my resume. I will look at my experience. I will look at my life and say, why is it that the doors are always being closed on you? Why is it that the times are always seeming hard for you? Why is it that life is going so rough for you? But I had to understand that there is something different that I'm supposed to be doing. I'm not supposed to look like nobody else. I'm not supposed to move like nobody else. I'm not supposed to talk like nobody else. So I was supposed to get rejected over here. That door was supposed to close for me. I was not supposed to be in that relationship. I was not supposed to be talking to this person. And I had to grow and understand to be okay with that. I had to grow and understand that I had a greater opportunity of getting to know who I am, so that I could know where I was supposed to be going, so that I could know what doors I needed to be going to, the people that I needed to be surrounding me with, the ones I needed to cut off. And when I tell you I went into solitude and I cut off a whole lot of people, I stopped talking to a lot of folks. And that was on purpose. It was by design, because I had grown out of touch with me. Because things in my life happened so much that it made me feel like I was a walking sign of rejection. Why is it this not working? You were rejected. Why is that not working? You were second best. Why that didn't go that way? Why are you still here? What? And it was always a why question. But I had to get to the bottom of the why. The bottom of the why starts here. The bottom of the why starts here. So instead of you looking at being turned down, go back to yourself. How can I revamp me? What am I supposed to be doing? How am I supposed to be moving in this season? What does this next season look like? Because I don't want it to look like the last one, because I know what that felt like. I don't want to go back there no more. So I want to do something a little different. I'm trying to shake it up a little bit. Shake it up in whatever way that looks like. And guess what? Everybody ain't gonna understand it. Some people ain't gonna like it, and that ain't none of your business, right? So moving forward, just know that rejection is just a sign of redirection, right? It can be challenging, it can be a lot of setbacks, but it can be a setup for a major success story. Continue to encourage yourself, continue to speak life over yourself, continue to affirm yourself, but always remember to keep your faith. Keep your faith, because you are favored to be exactly where God has you. It may be uncomfortable, but continue to walk forward in faith, knowing that favor will manifest in your life over time. So you're not rejected. You're just being redirected, right? I told y'all I wasn't gonna be on here long. I told you I wasn't gonna be on here long. But I just wanted to, kind of bring that to you to let you know that rejection is just a sign of redirection, and that is it. Don't look at it as the end of the world. Don't close the door on your goals. Don't close the door on your dreams. Just don't. Sometimes you just have to reassess, realign, so you can be in divine order. All right. All right. Well, thank you all so much for tuning in with me here on the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You, with your girl, truly, Jasmine D. Millage. And I want you to come back next week on next Thursday. We're going to be talking about defying the odds of self-sabotage. All right. We are now live on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook. Again, make sure you like, tag, and share this in your pages, share this with your groups. This has been yours truly, Jasmine D. Millage, with the F.L.Y Show, where the F.L.Y stands for First Love You. And remember to first love you because you absolutely deserve it. Good night.
I'll be your temple. I'll be your sanctuary.